What I'm going to show you today is how to take off the carburetor off of a Poulan 2150 chainsaw. So here's the saw. It's a common model. There's 3 Torx bolts on top, and they're number T25. So you want to get this one off, and this screw off here. Next thing you take off is the air filter. You can put all the parts in the cover, then they're easy to find. Next thing is those 2 nuts here. They're 5/16. You may also want to drain the gas tank before you attempt to take the carburetor off. The reason why I say that is sometimes when you remove the fuel lines, there's a bit of pressure and the fuel comes out of the fuel lines. So once you've got the 2 nuts off, gently remove this plastic cover. Now you've got the primer fuel line, which is this, and one goes to the fuel tank. Now the little fuel line is pretty simple because it only fits on the one connection there. So you can use a flat screwdriver and gently remove this fuel line here. So I'm not going to mark this one because I know it goes there. Now this fuel line here, there's only, well, it can only go to that one as well. So I'm going to remove that one. On some other saws, there's actually 2 fuel connections on the carburetor which are the same size of connectors, so it can get really easy to mix them up. So I kind of know that this goes on the bottom. It can only fit there. If you put it on the top, it's a bit big. Now the next thing you want to remove is the choke lever. Now to remove the choke lever, you just squeeze the tip here, and as you're squeezing, you push it out. So you could squeeze it with one hand, the pliers, and push out the other way. There we go. Now that came out. Just be very careful because the plastic can break easily. The next thing you want to remove is the carburetor itself. And as you're doing this, you pull back from the 2 bolts, and you can see the linkage is on right here. And then when you got the carburetor off the 2 bolts, you just slide the throttle linkage out, and there you go. You've got the carburetor removed. And while you got this removed, you can check the gasket, the intake gasket here, because that can cause problems sometimes. So if your fuel lines leak fuel after you've taken it off, you can just plug them up with a small screwdriver. Just be careful you don't expand the fuel line too much. So there we go. We've got the carburetor off. This one has a WALBRO, and the model of the carburetor is written on the side here, WT324. So in my next video, I'm going to show you how to disassemble this carburetor, clean it if necessary, and replace all the diaphragms in this carburetor.